From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. Time for our 5 in 5 segment. Barry, we're going to talk a lot about the Thunder, so let's get right to it. Finish this phrase. The gap between the Thunder and the Heat is?
I would say the gap between the Thunder and the Heat is the gap between LeBron James and Kevin Durant, which is not great. It's a small gap, but it is a gap. Look at it this way. Everybody talks about the Heat and their big three and the collection of superstars. Well, guess what? The Thunder out-superstars the Heat. Russell Westbrook's a better player than Dwayne Wade these days. Serge Ibaka is a better player than Chris Bosh these days. But LeBron is still the king, and he's the guy that makes everything go. Durant is fabulous. He's the second best player in the league, but he's not as good as LeBron, and right now, that's the difference between these two teams.
Don't you remember the time when we said LeBron James was just never going to be able to be a guy who could close out games? Doesn't that seem like about 1,000 years ago at this point? LeBron James is definitely the best player in the world right now. And, you know, it looks like to me that the Thunder really doesn't have the perfect defensive matchup to go against him. So, and considering where they are salary-wise, I don't think they're going to be able to go out and get one. So that means that you're going to have to match LeBron James, what he does. And Kevin Durant, it's on him. He's got to be able to match LeBron James' points, rebounds, assists, and we've seen his shot making, his playmaking go up. So to me, it's possible. It's possible for him to match it. But he's got to do that for this team to have a shot against these guys, especially if they go into another finals rematch. All right, Barry, another Thunder question. Hey, speaking of that, what's the Thunder's best hope of beating the Heat, especially if they come into a final situation?
I mean, obviously, Scotty Brooks is going to have to adjust his lineup. Everybody knows that. It's not even up for debate. He keeps playing the big lineup. That's not going to work against the Heat. They got to go smaller. A Thunder could use another player, a big perimeter guy to help guard LeBron. But the Thunder's just going to have to run out the small lineup, which Scotty likes to use. It's not like he doesn't like the small lineup. He just doesn't, for some reason, like it against the Heat. But they're going to have to get Martin and Cephaloshin, Westbrook and Durant, all four on the court at the same time against Miami and play them together 20, 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, I was shocked that you didn't see Thabo Cephalosha out there more late in that Christmas Day game. You know, he's maybe not the guy to match up against LeBron all the time. I do think Kevin Durant as a matchup against LeBron, I mean, I don't really have a problem with that if he's the primary guy on LeBron. But you've got to have Cephalosha out there. I think Martin needs to be out there. But, you know, the Thunder's best chance of beating the Heat, it also comes down to getting the best out of your stars. Like I said before, Durant has got to match LeBron, and I think Russell Westbrook has to play against the Heat like we've seen him play against everybody else this year, Barry. I mean, until Russell Westbrook had sort of that mini meltdown at the end of the game on Christmas Day, he'd been playing fantastically. Even with his shot being off, you'd still say, wow, this guy's playing great. But that was really some old demons coming back. He's got to be better against the Heat, especially in late game situations. All right, one more about the Thunder and the Heat, Barry. Will the Thunder and the Heat play in the finals?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say yes, and we know the Heat's going to be there. The East stinks. I mean, the second best team in the East, I guess, is the Knicks. But
how many years have you been saying that about the East?
For many.
Yeah.
The East stinks. Miami's got a walkover. Thunder won't get there as easily. There's at least four teams really good standing in their way. The Lakers even, you know, I'm not even counting the Lakers. They could get it together, I suppose. But I still think the Thunder's the best equipped to get there. They've shown they can do it. They got the star power. They got the role players. Thunder's the best team in the West, but it won't be easy to get there.
Yeah, I will say yes, too. I will say that this will be your finals matchup. But to me, it seems like that, I mean, the Thunder's going to have to really knuckle down and make sure they get as much home court advantage as they can. That's going to be big when you're talking about, you know, do you have home court advantage for a potential series against the Lakers? Do you have it for a potential series against the Grizzlies or the Clippers? I mean, those are the sorts of things that start to come into play. Against the Spurs, for example. Get home court advantage. That was huge. And it really did help them get to the finals. But I think that's one of those things that they really want to be mindful of as this season goes on. Get that home court advantage in the West, because it's not easy. All right, our fun question of the week, Barry. Hey, you got a New Year's resolution?
Yes, I do. Starting on January 1st, I'm going to try to have a good attitude about college basketball.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to try to go to more games. I'm going to try to watch more games.
This is earth-shattering, by the way.
I'm going to try to keep up a little bit better. The sport has gotten into such a pit, into such a ditch. I don't know if it can pull itself out. But the Cowboys are really good. The Sooners are at least interesting. I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, get a better attitude about college hoops.
That's awfully big of you. You're really kind of taking the slide on college basketball. That's a tough one. Well, is it tougher than losing 50 pounds, by the way?
Would be for me.
All right, my New Year's resolution, not sports related, unless you consider jogging sports related. I'm saying it right here. I'm getting back on the working out trail.
You haven't been jogging?
No, I've got a kid.
Well, I mean, I didn't know.
It changes things. Anyway, lastly, Barry, what about this? Hey, what's the bowl game you'll rearrange your schedule to watch?
Well, I don't really rearrange. The bowls sort of, I'm at the mercy of the bowls because often we're at the bowl site. DVR has not been put in hotels. Hey, do something about that, Mr. Marriott. Get some DVRs in your rooms. But so we got to sort of watch when we can around work and whatever else. I'm actually fired up, though, about the Holiday Bowl, Baylor UCLA.
Yeah.
I got it taped. It's actually being played tonight. I'm talking to you on Thursday. I'm going to go to the Maverick Thunder game, go home late, 11:30, and then watch the Baylor UCLA game into the wee hours of the morning. I'm a sucker for Big 12 football. Really looking forward to Baylor UCLA.
I tell you which one I'm looking forward to, and it also is a Big 12 team, and that's the Fiesta Bowl with the Oregon K-State matchup. I really have no idea how that game's going to shake out. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be really close. I pick Oregon to win, but talk about different styles. And I think K-State's going to have a great game plan for handling Oregon. I'm really looking forward to seeing that Fiesta Bowl because that's a game I thought could have been a national championship matchup. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.